Good morning, sixth grade. Today is Monday, and this is Social Studies. Now, as you all know, you have submitted your choice for the Wax Museum. You've all decided to choose an individual whom you would like to research and actually be. Now, I don't like to use the word hate, but I do hate to introduce the project this way. This is what we need from you, sixth grade. I don't like to introduce it this way, but I know many of you look forward to this. It's one of the biggest projects of the year. So it's either this or we wouldn't be able to do it at all. So what I really don't want to have to do is cancel this wax museum because of limited effort from some individuals. Because there are some individuals who are just, to write one sentence online, find that increasingly difficult. So I'm not sure why, but we have to break that so we can work together and do this, because the reason why I'm keeping this project is for you. So I'd like everybody on board. Let's work together. I'm here to help you, but please don't ask questions before reading something, okay? Read it. If you still have a question, let me know, but the majority of the answers that you may look for will be in this video. So let's walk through this together. I'm going to share my screen, and I really need you to follow along. So pencil, highlighter, you may want that right now. So you can pause the video when you go get that. So take a moment, do that, and pause the video if needed. Everybody should have a choice that I said you can go ahead and start to research. So you've all submitted something, or at least I hope so. If you haven't submitted anything as of yet, I really need you to go ahead and do that. For the individuals who haven't checked yet, go on Google Classroom, take a look at who you'll be researching. What I did is I've provided everybody at least 3 links on the individual I said you can go ahead and study, okay? There's 3 links. Those are credible sources. You may use those links. You may use a textbook. You may use the workbook. If you choose to use any other link, please send it to me first. Again, 6th grade. You have 3 links. You have a textbook and you have a workbook. If you are going to choose something other than that, I need you to send it to me so I can take a look. If we were in the classroom, I would ask you to write them down and show me. But this is the digital way we can do that. Right now I have this rubric. I gave everybody a hard copy. If for some reason you lost yours, I attached it on Google Classroom. I highly suggest you go ahead and print it right now, and as it prints, just pause the video so you can follow along. There's several aspects of this wax museum that you need to know, and we're gonna have to be creative. Right now, we're told that we're gonna be back around March 30th or so, but we don't know what the days bring. So let's just be optimistic. Let's plan on the 30th right now, and if anything changes, we're gonna be in contact, and I'm gonna help you out with what we need to do. So there's several different aspects of this project. So there's a poster. I don't want anybody to star on that poster as of yet. If we do come back on the 30th, okay, I'm going to, there's enough time to get that poster done. If we don't come back on the 30th, we're going to come up with another plan. But as for right now, I'm going to explain the poster in class when we come back. I really don't want anybody worried about that yet, but I will show you some examples. The goal here is to realize what the project is worth. The final wax museum grade is 400 points, okay? Why is it so much? It is because it takes up a lot of time, and it's really important tradition that we have at our school. It really takes your level of understanding of these periods in history to a higher level. So there are 2 periods in history that we are going to cover in this wax museum. It's the Roman Empire and it's ancient Egypt. You've decided if you will be representing the Roman Empire, you have decided if you will be representing ancient Egypt. That choice is yours, okay? And make sure you take a look at who you are representing. That's your focus. That's your only focus. And as I explain this, if you're like, wait a minute, Mr. A, I didn't know what I need to do with this, and I'm not finding a lot of info, I need help, and I might need to change it. You cannot change that individual without letting me know. And if you send me a message, you're going to tell me you chose it and you need to switch it and why. And the switch would need to happen today. The switch needs to happen today for any reason, okay? Other than that, we can't do that. So what I would like to go ahead and do is discuss how we can score a 50 in the categories for your poster. And again, I'm going to show you a couple different examples. So let's take a look right here. This is the yearbook page from last year. And there's a couple people in this class who have never been in this wax museum as a visitor before. So I really like you to look closely. See a lot of our friends here that are now in 7th grade. And they did a really great job. And I do commend them for doing this to the level that they're able to. So if we take a look at their poster is rather simple. If you take a look at, let's say, the easiest one right here would be our friend Mason. So if you take a look at our friend Mason, we see who he is, Augustus. Augustus from the Roman Empire. So it says Augustus, it says Roman Empire, and then really small, okay, it says his title, and it says the dates he lived. His name, the Empire, Roman Empire, his title, and the dates he lived. And then he has several photographs that relate to him. He has photographs of Rome. He has photographs of Augustus on ancient money. He has a few statues of Augustus. And he has some buildings that Augustus was responsible for that still stand in Rome. That's your first example. Okay? If you take a look at others, if we scroll here, if you take a look at Justin on the bottom here. Okay, there's another one from Rome. Take a look here at, really at any of them. If you take a look here at our friend Lewis. Lewis is I'm going to focus on that one because that's ancient Egypt. Lewis has Ramses III. He has the name Ramses III, ancient Egypt, and then the dates. Lewis forgot here to put the title, who he is, who was he, what was his role, was he emperor, was he king, was he a servant, who was he? So that should be clear. Lewis has few photographs, and when I say photographs, there's no photos, but there's illustrations, there's paintings, there's statues, there's drawings, there's items that relate. And I said to the group, and some people listen, I said anywhere from 5 to 6 larger images here. And just take a look here for a moment. And if you need to look carefully, again, don't take any photos here of the individuals because to share. But for you, if you need to, go ahead and then you could take a look at the group here, what they did. Number one, all their posters are neat. All their posters are neat. Some more than others, but it's not bad at all. So let's take a look at the list here. Let me put this side by side so we can see. So we're going to put this here side by side, and we're going to look at how we score. So creativity, okay? Creativity. How do we score 50? 50. The poster looks amazing. It's colorful, has great pictures, and has an overall wow factor. It's representing the individual you chose to study. Okay, again, nobody is starting anything on the poster. I'm explaining it. So when I say, okay, guys, let's work on the poster when we come back on the 30th, and you take it home, you know what to do. That's what I like you to focus on. Okay, so it's colorful. It has pictures. You're not giving a black and white photos here for us. You're giving color. You're bringing it to life. I mean, take a look at Richard's here. He's bringing it to life, and the photos are large for me to see. Photos are large. Look at Christian's. Christian's is very clear. I can see. Christian even went ahead and labeled the photos, which you don't even necessarily need to do, right? We have our friend Mel here. It's very, very clear. If you have little photos, okay, if you have little photos, I'm not going to call anybody out here on this page, but there's a few people that have little photos, and it's very difficult for the viewer to see. So make sure you have photos. The poster's interesting and thoughtful. It clearly relates to the figure you're portraying. If somebody comes by and they're looking at, let's say our friend Megan here's poster, and they don't know what it is, they can't figure this out, the writing's so small, let's say, and they cannot figure this out, then does it clearly relate to the figure you're portraying? Maybe to you it does when you created it, but do we understand it? Christian was uncertain. So what Christian did is he labeled it. So he covered his bases there. He was able to explain that a little bit afterwards to the people. So for those who haven't done this before, the Wax Museum takes place in the gym. We don't have a date just yet because we have to wait for all this to be all solved first. But it'll be in the gym. It'll be usually from 1:45 until 2:30-ish, 2:30, 2:45-ish. And we'll have everybody from pre-K all the way to 7th grade coming to visit. And you're going to be the individual that you've chosen. You have a poster and you have a speech. So literally you're going to be standing. I mean, you take a look at Isis and Sebastian, you're going to be standing next to your poster. Poster's hanging up there. You don't have to do anything with the poster. You'd be standing there, and the poster is clear that when a first grader comes, they see that you're from Rome. They see that you're Attila the Hun, and they see the dates you're associated with. Okay? The poster is beautifully done. It looks neat. All information is presented in a professional manner, and the student took pride in the assignment. Okay? I don't want a poster that is thrown together overnight. You take a look at our friend Arpie's here. You have borders. She's not going tremendously crazy with the color borders, but you can see she went out of her way to get some lettering here to really bring out this queen. And that was an individual who I was uncertain with due to some information, but she was able to present that in a great, great, valuable way. And she went ahead and put images of individuals that are associated to the queen. So overall, the poster is simple. The poster is simple. We have a few nights to work on that when we come back. I'll supply the poster, okay? And then you guys can decide. If you want any type of lettering, okay, you want any type of lettering, I'm not telling anybody to go out and get anything now, but if you decide, maybe some of you talk to mom, dad, guardian, see what you would like to do with lettering. If not, you can always write it by hand. I don't supply the lettering. Christian, he typed his lettering. You decide what you like to do, but it needs to be neat. It's not due yet, so don't worry about, I need to buy supplies. If you're talking to mom, dad, or guardian about it, and they're like, yeah, you're home, why don't we get a couple things? Again, I don't want anybody to spend a lot of money on this, but you decide what you'd like to do as far as lettering. You're at home, so if you're like, okay, I need 5 to 6 colorful photos that relate to this individual, you can start to gather those photos if you want. Maybe put them in a document, like a Word document, and don't even print it as of yet. Let's wait till when we come back, when I start to give you some updates. So don't worry about that yet. Wax Museum costume. We can see that some individuals went way out of their way here for their costume. I mean, I'm not saying that you got to go ahead and buy everything. I mean, you could be creative. You take a look at Mason. Mason was creative. Mason didn't go ahead and buy all this. He was creative, and he created something that'll work. Same thing with Eric. Okay, same thing with Jessica. Fits her perfectly. Same thing with Celeste. She had a crown and a little cape here and a dress, and she put it together. It relates. Take a look at how your person dresses and how you can represent that person. Okay? I mean, take a look at the quality that they put into this is extraordinary. Here's the thing. Again, I'm not saying you need to go ahead and purchase anything extravagant, but if you take a look at Lewis, he did. If everything goes well with this whole situation our nation is currently in, I'm looking at anywhere within the second week of April to do this. First or second week of April to do this, to present. So you start to look at how you would like to dress up, and I'd like you to just keep me posted on that. Okay. But the costume fits the hero very well. It's evident that the student tried to dress as their hero would have. By hero, it's the individual you're presenting. I mean, you take a look at Lewis's costume. We know he's not in Rome. It's clear that he's in Egypt. Take a look at Richard. He looks like he fits in perfectly in Rome here. So we want to make sure that you go ahead and you fit what you're trying to portray. You look at some of the girls here, you can clearly see that they're from ancient Egypt. Okay, it's not random. You're not wearing your full school uniform and saying, okay, I'm Justinian. That wouldn't make sense. This is what I'm worried about with a lot of people. A student had excellent behavior at the museum and no warnings had to be given, and you acted professionally. So what's going to happen is you are all going to stand near your poster, take a look at Justin, and then when people come up to you, they put some coins. You're going to have a little bucket, and they're going to put coins in the bucket. And as soon as they put a coin in, you'll start to speak, and you'll start to share your part. And as soon as they put coins in, you'll start to talk. I can't have people laughing. I can't have people, playing around. I cannot have people goofing around, not taking seriously. You have to represent us correctly. Daniel here had a little sword that he made out of paper. Other than that, where we don't allow any type of weapons, metal, or plastic. If you want any type of sword or anything, you'll have to do it how Daniel did. Celeste has a cross here, but it's made out of like boxes. We don't want anything that can look like any type of weapon or can be dangerous. Okay, so that's the poster and that's the costume. So what do you need to do with the poster right now? I said if you want to start to think of how you're going to come up with the lettering here and some images. You don't need to complete the poster yet. I'm going to give every poster board when we come back. Costume, start to think about your costume, okay? You want to start to get that going within the next few days. Again, I'm not telling anybody to go into any store or anything. I'm not. But you see what you have at home that you could use. And if you talk to mom or dad and like, yeah, I'll get you something online that you may want here for it. That's up to you, and you could always check that out. So take this time to do that. I'm going to send them an email too, a little bit about these guidelines. The big part here is you could look great with your costume. You could have a great poster, but if your presentation is lousy, you don't know what you're talking about, you have a problem. Everybody saw Bento's presentation that I gave you. I hope everybody read it. If you didn't read Bento's, we're going to take a look at it in a moment. You're going to follow along. But here's what we need to do. 50 points. Student recited all the needed information, and you had it memorized. We are all going to come up with a script, but the script must be memorized on the day of the presentation. 3, student had a great expression while delivering the information. They were excited to share this information with the class. Right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm excited, I'm introducing it. You can tell that I'm interested. I'm ready to share this with you. I wish it was in person, but I'm not sitting here, saying, okay, students had great expression while delivering the information. They're excited to share the information with the class. If I presented my info like I just did, you would have shut the video off or fallen asleep. It would not interest you because it shows that I don't care. So if it shows that you don't care in your expression, then how do you expect the kindergarten class to follow along? So you gotta be that character. You have to be that individual. When I say character, I mean that figure in history. You need to be that individual for those few hours. Okay, so you want to make sure you have it. Number one, it's going to have to be memorized, and it's got to be expressed correctly. And 3, your overall presentation. The student delivered a wonderful presentation. You had good eye contact with the audience, and you showed enthusiasm. You're looking at your audience, you're showing great enthusiasm, and you're reciting your piece. These friends here did a great job last year, and I hope we can do that again. That's 400 points. Now, completed at school. Well, right now, this is the virtual school, so this is what I mean. You're going to research the historical figure take notes, okay, on that. It says Post-its. I don't do that anymore, so don't worry about that. You're going to take notes. That's going to be the assignment I'm going to introduce to you in a moment. That's actually what is due the next couple evenings. We're going to talk about that. After that, you're going to write 3 paragraphs about the beginning, middle, and end contribution about the historic figure's life. Editing and revising drafts daily. This is a project for English / Soul Studies. So please do not worry about, oh, I have so much Soul Studies. No, this is for both classes. So this is going to fit when you're at home to carry on for both classes. When you start to take notes tonight, I want you to focus on the beginning, the middle, and the end of this individual's life and how they contributed to the area that they're from. You're not writing any paragraphs tonight. No paragraphs, just some bullet notes. We're going to cover that in a moment. You're publishing the final biographical summary of the historic figure's life. You're going to present information about this historic figure's life. And then you're presenting information to your classmates, peers, and visitors. Like parents will be invited to the Wax Museum and all of that. Again, that's not until April. Grandparents, teachers. We're going to get to the presentation poster when we come back, okay? Again, you can start, but poster board I'm going to give you so everybody has the same poster board. Start to prepare your costume for the Wax Museum, and you're going to start to prepare facts to share during the Wax Museum. Take a look over the document a little bit further if you need to. Reach out to me if you need to. But let's take a look at what we need to do. Tonight. What we need to do tonight. Okay. Okay. So what we need for the next 2 nights, I personally prefer this to be typed. I want you to create a new Google document, okay? I want you to create a new Google document, and I want you to take at least, hey, this is for English and religion, anywhere from 20 to 30 bullets on the individual's life. Okay, so at least 20 bullets on their life that you could use for this presentation. That's tonight's assignment for English and Social Studies, so it's not that hard. Let's take a look at Bento's. So let's see Bento's. If you have his, can you take it out so you can follow along? If not, listen carefully. So Bento was Alexander the Great. He says who he is. He says where he was born. Okay, so he says where he's born. He says who his parents are. He says who he received his education from. He talks about his life as a teenager. Basically, he goes in order of his life. Okay, he gives some big moments in his life. He goes over one and then another. So he goes over several big moments in his lifetime. Okay, he talks about a conquest. And then he talks about towards the end of his life. Anywhere from a page and a half or so. Roughly, it should be around a page and a half or so, double spaced like this. That will be fine for your presentation. Anywhere from 1 1/4 to 1.5 pages would be good. Very simple. You are not doing this yet. You are using Bento's here as a guideline to see how you will do it. So 6th grade, what do you do now? What do you do now? This is what you need to do. You're going to use the links I gave you, okay? And you're going to take 20 or so bullets, send them to me, post it on Google Classroom, okay? Post them on Google Classroom tonight. We have until 11:59 p.m. Don't wait till the end. And let me know if you need to use other links. But focus on required information. I will go ahead and I will clearly tell you there's some required information that you're going to need, okay? And I can post some more of those details on Google Classroom. So basically, I'd like you to make sure you work on that between now and then. So for tonight, 20 bullets for information, and then we're going to take it from here on Tuesday again, but just get the bullets for tonight on those individuals, the individual you're going to study. That's what you need right now. Discuss the costume, mom, dad, or guardian. Discuss the poster. I'm here to help you. This is a few weeks worth of work. We're going to go step by step. So we're not going to jump too far yet. Let's do the notes first. So we're about the writing. Let's get this piece where it needs to be. Nobody's writing any paragraphs. Focus on the notes on the individual. To gather, just get some information on them. Put it together. Let's talk. Communicate. After around 10 o'clock in the evening, it's going to be difficult to get a hold of me. So try to get questions earlier than later. Again, I look forward to everything you're doing, and I'm here to help you. Ms. C's here to help you. Let's do this. Until next time, take care. Have a great day. Goodbye.